Recording. Okay, so it has been started. Welcome you all in this session of Advanced Excel pivot tables. We are going to start on the request of some of the students who said that, sir, pivot table is something which is going to be useful to us in our project. So let's take that first. I do not have any problem in taking that. Okay, sharing my screen with all of you, though it does not deserve this flow, right? Because pivot table is something which I generally cover after some point of time. There are certain other things as well which you should be aware about before the pivot tables. But because it would be important and required from your side, let me take it now. So everyone should be able to see the file which I have sent to all of you, where two worksheets are there. One is master data, another one is the secondary data. Now in this case, first try to understand that what is there in the data. Now if you see, this is not a Chintu Chintu kind of a data. It's a very Bahubali kind of a data, first of all. And if I want to check that, what is the last cell of the active data range on the right hand side, then there is a shortcut key. Everyone, please put the shortcut keys in the back of your mind, because these are going to be extremely useful to all of you. Because now onwards, you will not be getting this kind of a Chintu Chintu data. Now you will be having a Bahubali kind of a data like this. और आप ऐसे मैन्युअली माउस को स्क्रॉल करते करते हड़ू 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 गाड़ी में बैठे 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 जाओगे तो शाम हो जाएगी, और हमें शाम नहीं करनी है. कोई कोई बताएगा कि सर मैं स्मार्ट हूं, मैं पेज डाउन प्रेस करूंगा, पेज डाउन पेज डाउन पेज डाउन पेज डाउन. कितनी बार पेज डाउन करोगे भाई? सो जाओगे, थक जाओगे. मत करो ऐसा. We have a shortcut key, control down arrow to go to the last cell of the active data range. Control right arrow to go to the last cell of the active data range on the right hand side. Now when I say active data range, that means there is no blank in between. If there would be a blank in between, then you cannot call it an active data range. So if I go to these headings and if I press control right arrow, I must be able to see the last column on the right hand side. So here we have the data. Now if I want to select the last cell up to the last cell of the active data range, then along with the control down or left hand side arrow or something, you will have to press the shift button as well. So shift control down arrow, shift control right arrow. So my entire data is selected. Good. Some smart nibbas would be like, sir, we'll press control A for that. But beta, control A selects the entire data which is there on the worksheet, even if it is there outside this table, right? So we don't want to do that. Now let's try to understand what is there in this data. There are employee IDs written for the various number of employees, and if I say numbers, it's around 5,000 numbers of employees data we have here. Then geographic location in which they are belonging to, we have given a geographic location as well based on our bifurcation 1 2 3 4 5. Their size of hometown, their gender, their age in years, their age category, their birth month, their various details are written over there. Their household income, their household income in rupees. That means that particular employee is earning how much in the entire year. So we have got the data of those employees. Many things are written over there. Their job satisfaction, whether they are highly satisfied or somewhat satisfied or highly dissatisfied. Someone would have taken the Google form, for this, and they would have circulated for their employees. But we are the smart nibbas. हमने उसको बीच में से जाके पकड़ लिया. हमें मालूम था कि ये डेटा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होने वाला है, तो हमने कॉपी कर लिया एक्सेल में. Okay. Number of dogs owned, number of reptiles owned, number of birds owned by those people. Oh my God, kind of a details which has been taken, with such kind of a prescription. मुझे लगता है कि इनको शादी करनी है इन लोगों से. मतलब शादी में भी कोई नहीं पूछता यार कि तुम्हारे पास बर्ड कितने हैं, कौन पूछता है? अच्छा, we have many details about this now. Now try to understand my question. Now this data is grouped into various categories. Somewhere there would be yes, no categories. Somewhere there would be male, female. Somewhere there would be birth month. And their details are also there. Their age is there. Their household income is there. Now, if I want to summarize this data systematically, let me give you one very simple task, that I want the total income of household of male as well as the female in one different table. And that table must be a dynamic table from which I can do some other tasks too. Please try to understand my question. My question is that I want the household income in total for male as well as the female. So a total of males as well as the total of females must be clubbed together and must be prescribed in one table. Now here pivot table comes into the picture, which does the systematic summarization of the data within just few clicks. You would be able to summarize the data like anything. Step number 1 to apply the pivot table. Everyone should be able to understand this. Now to apply the pivot table, you may select the data, you may not select the data. That's fine. Even if you do not select the data, if your headings are proper, if the data is properly structured out, you will be able to see the pivot table. But in case you want to select it, you should, I would prefer you should select the data in order to avoid any potential problem. So I'm there right now, the first cell, that is email ID. Control Shift right arrow to select up to the right hand side. Control Shift down arrow to select the data up to the last cell at the downside. Once that is done, my dear fellas and fellies, everyone should go to Insert tab, and in Insert tab, below the pivot chart option, you have pivot table and pivot chart. That is a one way. And here as well, you have a pivot table that is in the sections of tables over here. So let me click over there. And once I click, this kind of a dialog box is appeared. The first thing which it asks from my side is that, Mr. Ronak, tell me what is the data which you have selected. I would say, I have already selected the data. क्यों मेरा मगज खा रहा है भाई? Data मेरा select हो चुका है. So he said, okay. Then he said, whether you want to use some external data source, I would say, no, I want to use this data source only. Based on that, I want to prepare a summarized table. Then it asked me that choose where you want the pivot table report to be placed. Now I have the two options here. One is existing worksheet, another one is the new worksheet. Now obviously the existing worksheet is already a content heavy, right? There are 5,000 number of rows and n number of columns. If I'll be again creating the pivot table over here, it would be little messy. Let me use the new worksheet only for this. And I'm sure that when I use the new worksheet and new workbook, people are able to differentiate between the two. Workbook is different, worksheet is different. Workbook is the collection of the various worksheets, right? So in this workbook only, in this file only, we are going to insert one new worksheet. Now add this data to the data model that we are not doing right now, that we'll see later on. Pressing OK. Now once you press OK, everyone should be able to see the worksheet inserted over there. Now some people would be like, sir, हमारे में तो worksheet 1 दिखाई दे रहा है, आप में क्यों worksheet 4 है? तो बेटा मैंने अभी आपसे पहले भी एक क्लास ले चुका हूं ना, तो उसके वर्कशीट्स मैंने कर दी थी, इसलिए 4th आ रही है. अच्छा, in that worksheet this kind of a outlook must be visible to everyone. Just give me confirmation that you are there with me till now. यहां तक सब मेरे साथ में हो तो ही मैं आगे बढ़ूं.
Yes, sir.
See that. Good to see that. Everyone else giving you 30 seconds in silence so that you will be able to do that quickly. એમને ચાનું કહી દો ને પ્લીઝ. હા, અરે મગજ એમને કહી દો ને પ્લીઝ. હા, okay, once that is visible to everyone, you must be able to see that in left hand side you have such kind of a pivot table option, and on right hand side you have the various fields. Now let me use the magnifier so that you are able to see everything properly. Now here you have the various headings that you had selected in the pivot tables: employee ID, geographic location, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, and so on, their size of hometown, their gender, their age in category. So all the headings we had in the columns are given over here to you as a pivot fields. Now if you don't have selected the headings, it wouldn't be able to give you the heading. So that's why it's important to select the heading so that you get the appropriate headings over here for your summarization of the data. Now my first task is very simple. I want the total income of household of males as well as the females. Can someone tell me what should I do over here? If you can. And some of the students would be like, sir, उससे पहले ये 4 box explain तो करो, फिर जाके हम कुछ करें ना. Okay. Now please try to understand. The criteria which you want to apply for the summarization, here the criteria which I want to apply for the summarization is gender. Now it can be birth month, it can be anything, it can be n number of other things too. The categories in which I want my data to be summarized. Now that must be either in rows or in column. Now that depends on your presentation requirement. You know, some people would be like, sir, we want the vertical format. Do it, put it in the columns. Some people would be like, no, sir, we want the format to be in rows. You know, horizontal it must be displayed. That's fine, put it in the rows. Now, the data which you want to summarize, first thing was the criteria on which you want to summarize the data. Criteria is gender in this case. That must be in row or column. Number 2, the data which you want to summarize, that must be there in a values. The data which I want to summarize, no, that is the household income in rupees. That must be there as a value. So what I'm doing is, I'm dragging the gender, everyone. Please concentrate. The gender, you may have a tick over here, and if you do not want to do that, there is another way which I use, is dragging the gender by left click on the mouse. It is still pressed. I'm dragging it to rows. You would have put either in rows or in columns. That really does not matter. It will just give you a different kind of an outlook. The results will remain same. Okay. Now the values, which is the data for which I want the summarization, is the household income in rupees. So I'll search it from here. Now for some of the people, you might have the search option over here, household income in rupees. But if that search option is not there, you will have to manually search it from here. You may scroll it down further, and from here you may see the household income in rupees, right? I guess from 2011 onwards version, you would be able to see household income in rupees everywhere. Such kind of a search box must be there in that. So household income in rupees, I'm dragging to values. And here you must be able to see on the left hand side, I have one pivot table created where the total income of male as well as female is written. The categories on which I wanted to do the summarization was the gender. In the data, I wanted the household income in rupees, so that must be there in a values. And here it gives us the sum, that is the total of household income. Good to see that this company is very progressive. The total income of female is much higher than the total income of male. That's good to see. Generally, that doesn't happen in the real practical world. That's the best situation we are facing. in spite of putting the equivalent efforts, in fact, much more than the males. Females are not earning well in this society, such a patriotic society we have. Anyway, we have the total of male and female, and blank, obviously we can understand why they have put the blank. So we have the grand total of this now. So what I have done, I am just explaining you these 4 boxes. If you would have put this gender into the columns, the data would be like this: male, female, and blank. So let me put it over there in the row only. Okay. Now next question is, sir, once it is applied, how can we remove this now? You may remove this by just dragging it outside, that is a one way. उसको बाहर डाल दो, बाहर का रास्ता दिखा दो, भाई टाटा बाय बाय सी यू, अब तेरी कोई जरूरत नहीं है. ये जो वैल्यूज है उसको भी ड्रैग करके बाहर उठा के जाने दो, भाई तेरी कोई जरूरत नहीं है. There was one more way. You could have clicked over here on this. You can see that my mouse cursor is over there. Please have a left click. From there you may go to the remove field, and once it is done, the fields are removed. Till now, any queries? Filter, I'll come to that in some time. Column, rows and values, we have got it, right? Just give me confirmation, positive or negative. You need to speak, else I cannot get your answers. I am not someone who can, who can be an antaryami. मुझे नहीं मालूम पड़ता कि बच्चों को आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है, whether you are stuck or not.
Sir. Hello.
Yes, बताइए, I am listening to.
Sir, I haven't received the selection box in 2019 version. I haven't get it. हाँ ये वाला बॉक्स है मेरे में नहीं है. हाँ
तो ये बॉक्स कैसे मिलेगा मालूम है?
नहीं सर.
अगर तुम यहाँ पे होगे ना इस वाले में, तो राइट हैंड साइड पे अभी मुझे भी कोई बॉक्स नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है, देखो. If you click over here in pivot table, no, then right hand side you must be able to see pivot table fields, right? But if I am there somewhere, if if I navigate somewhere over here, the pivot table fields would be hidden now.
Yes sir. Sir,
the pivot table, and you must be able to see.
Hello.
Yes dear, yes.
pivot table field दिखा रहा है, बट मुझे सिलेक्शन वाला जो बॉक्स है ना ये, हाँ ये वाला, ये मेरे में नहीं आ रहा है.
नहीं आ रहा है?
नहीं सर.
तो बेटा तुमने सिलेक्शन करने के टाइम पे हेडिंग्स को सिलेक्ट किए थे, देखो एक बार.
yes,
या फिर एक काम करो, फिर से नया पाइवट टेबल इंसर्ट करो हेडिंग्स को सिलेक्ट करके.
Just a minute, sir.
इस हेडिंग्स को सिलेक्ट करना भूल गए होंगे जब डेटा सिलेक्ट किया था तब. That can be the reason why the headings are not being displayed.
सर फिर से वही दिखा रहा है जैसे पहले था.
ये मालूम नहीं पड़ेगा बेटा तुम्हें, वहां पे कैसा आउटलुक है वो मालूम नहीं पड़ता इसमें.
मैं शेयर माय स्क्रीन.
I cannot control what you display on the screen. Let's avoid that. Now please this kind of a box is visible or not? ऐसा कोई बॉक्स आ ही नहीं रहा है, वैसा है value fill settings kind of a box.
Yes sir, ये वाला बॉक्स नहीं आ रहा है, उसके नीचे का बॉक्स आ रहा है.
ये आ ही नहीं रहा वैसा.
Yes sir.
Please check it to the settings whether you have filled section and area section set. I mean this setting must be visible to you.
Yes sir.
Setting is like this, no, from this setting box. Then I think you should be able to see like this.
Yes, sir, Raja.
There was an outlook difference. Good. Thank you very much. Good to see that we are able to solve it even without looking into the PC. Oops. Now, the next criteria on which I want to apply is the birth month. And I want the total of household income in rupees for all this number of birth months. So that means all the people who are born in the month of January, I want the total of that. All the people who are born in the month of February, I want the total of their household income over there. So birth month wise, I need the household income ka total. Can someone tell me what should I put in rows or columns?
Birth month.
Good. So birth month I am dragging to the rows, and in values I need the household income in rupees. So I'm finding the household income in rupees. It must be found. Yes, now it is there. Dragging it to the values. Slow by slow, slowly, hadu, step by step, we are moving ahead. Do not worry. It is extremely important function. I tell you, it can sort out your work like anything. It can summarize the data within just few clicks. Here you have birth month and household income in rupees. So what is the interpretation of this? If I circle this out, the interpretation of this figure is that it is the total of all the people who are born in the month of March. Right? Now it's not just about applying this, because ये तो बच्चा भी कर सकता है. वहां से हेडिंग को ड्रैग करके नीचे डाल दो, साइड में डाल दो, ऊपर डाल दो. लेकिन उसको इंटरप्रेट कैसे करना, that also matters. Now once the matrix will be little complicated, then it would be little complicated for you to interpret that data. So what I'm doing, please try to understand again. I'm dragging the job category. Everyone should do this along with me. Job category to the columns. So this is how my data is visible now. I'm reducing the size of this a bit so that you get it in a better way. Please, everyone, check this matrix. What is there in this matrix? If you can just interpret this matrix for me. What I've done, I have just taken the job categories into the columns over here. What is there? What does this picture convey? What is the message which this picture convey?
It says that all the people who are born in January and in agriculture and something job are having so and so income.
Right. So based on the two criterias which are there, the one is the job categories, another one is the birth month. We have the matrix of total income of those people. Right. Now from this, I may highlight the top 10. I may, highlight the bottom 10. For that, I may use the conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is not done yet. So that's why I cannot go to that as of now. But we'll go to that after some time, do not worry. Now, please concentrate. I am moving. यहाँ तक सबको मालूम पड़ा है. Instead of columns, if I would have dragged this to the rows, the outlook would be like this. In January, you would be able to see various job categories, right? And in all these months, you will be able to see various job categories. But this is not looking better. The earlier version was better in terms of presentation. So let me put it over there again in the columns. Now, I'm dragging the gender. I'm dragging the gender again in the rows. What I've done, I have dragged the gender to the rows now. Everyone, please check it. This is how the box should be looking like. In columns, I have the job categories, and in rows, I have more than 2 fields now. So what I'm trying to convey to you is that it's not only the one field on which you can do this summarization, you may have 2 or more fields as well. Even if you want to insert the third one into this, you can. The matrix would adjust accordingly. And the values is still the sum of household income. So if I circle out some amount, you will have to tell me what is the meaning of that. Say if I circle out this amount, what is the interpretation of this? Who will tell me? Open for all.
Sir, a female born in February and in a managerial profession.
Very true. So this is the total income of all the females born in the month of February and are belonging to the job category of managerial and professional. Now please try to understand. I am moving ahead slightly. Slowly, slowly. Hadu, 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 hadu. Something, let me introduce something to which male will not be having any problem, but female would be having some problem. I want the average age in the values instead of this household income in rupees. Please try to understand my task. The average age needs to be there instead of household income in rupees. What does this convey? This tells me that what is the household income of the category female born in the month of February and those who are belonging to the job category of managerial and professional. But instead of household income, I want the average age of that category. So instead of household income in values, I should have something else. Who will tell me what should I have instead of household income in the values?
Sir. Hello.
Dear, I'm listening, please.
Sir, you have to remove the sum of household income from that values and add age category in that.
Not age categories, you should put age in years actually. Because age in years is the exact age which is there with you. Age category is just about giving the categories to the various ages. It is grouping the data, right? So I'm putting it outside. How can I do it? I can have a click on this and remove field, or I may just drag it outside. Bahar rakh do, tata bye bye, see you, koi zarurat nahi hai. Now I am coming to the age in years and I'm dragging this age in years to values. But you must have observed that here I have the sum, SUM. That means it gives me the total of that category. Now let me tell you, there is no meaning of total of age. I mean, what is the meaning of total of age of your entire class? That does not convey anything. I want the average age of that category. Instead of total, I want to summarize it by average. How can I do it? Can someone tell me?
So you can click on the drop down and you can format it on the basis of average.
Okay, so one way is that I may have a click on this. Then we may go to the value field settings and this kind of a box must get appear. That is a one way. There is another way too. You may go to any of the sales over here, any of the sales, wherever, whatever the amounts are written. Have a right click over there and you must be able to see over here summarize values by, right? Summarize values by, and from there you may select the count, you may select the average, you may select the maximum, minimum, product, all such kind of things. I want the average age, so I'm selecting the average. The third way we have, again, value field settings are found over here. You may check it. Click on that. And in this box, you may select the average. We will come to the other aspects of it in some time to come. धीरे धीरे हड़ू हड़ू अभी आगे बढ़ना है. So I'm selecting the average, pressing OK. And I have the age average age of various people falling into those categories. So if I ask the interpretation now, someone would be telling this to me. Now, what is the meaning of? First we have a female and then we have a male, right? What is the meaning of this now? Can someone tell me the interpretation of this amount which I have circled out? कोई अपने ज्ञान के दीपक को प्रज्वलित करके हमारे सामने रखना चाहेंगे, महोदया और मोहतरमा? ये 42 का मतलब क्या होता है?
Sir, average age.
Good. Average age of the male who are born in the month of April and who are belonging to a job category of agriculture and natural resources. Yes or no? Yes, sir. So the average age of all the people born in the agricultural, all the people who are belonging to this category of job category is 44.65. But in that, some of the people who are born in the month of December are having the higher age as compared to the other people. Here in September as well, some of the people are having very high age. 53 is the average age of male belonging to this category, job category, and born in the month of December. Now, please try to identify, understand this. Now, one more thing into this. I want the average age of these people understood, but only of, try to understand, but only of all those people whose level of education is college degree. If you go to the master data from here, no, you must be able to see in the college degree, level of education, there are various categories mentioned. College degree is there, high school degree is there, some college did not complete the high school, or such kind of a bifurcation is visible to you. I'm going to the worksheet number 4 again. I hope you have understood my problem. I just want the average age of these people, of these categories, of only those people who are born, who are having the college degree education and no one else. Can someone tell me? These boxes are self-explanatory. I think you should be able to get. Very true. Very true. You may put this in the filter. So what I'm doing is I'm dragging the years of education into the filter, and you must be able to see on the left hand side corner box, the top box, years of education along with this filter is inserted there. You click over there. Oh, I didn't. Sorry. I do not want to put years of education. I'm dragging this out. I want level of education. I'm sorry. So I'm dragging the level of education over here in the filter. Then I'm going to the left hand side corner box. Level of education filter has been inserted there. Click over here on this filter sign. Select multiple items from here. All के सामने unselect करो and select only the college degree. Pressing OK. So if I go to one cell now, you will have to interpret this. मुझे हर एक flow चाहिए सबको. I do not want the repetitive answers from the selected students. Everyone must fill the inclusive. Would be giving the answer to me. What is the interpretation of this? I'm circling this. Who will tell me what this 46 indicate? If one person comes to you and says that what is this meaning of 46, explain me, you should be able to. Now you will have to give me an answer. What is this 46? As I said to all of you, that it's not just about applying the pivot tables. There has to be the good interpretation too. If you do not analyze it well, then what is the meaning of pivot table? Can someone give me the answer? No one? Oops. Then I may resort to the ones who are repetitively giving me the answer. Anyone would like to do this now? Open for all now, everyone. What is this interpretation of
We can
40?
say that a female in the profession of managerial and professional having a college degree and the average age is 46.
Good. One thing is missed.
Born in January.
Yes.
Sir, it's a
Yes, beta, बताइए.
it's her age.
I'm not able to hear you properly. Can you repeat this? Okay, might be having some connectivity issues. So that is the average age of, see, this is how you should be able to write it. The average age of the people who are there into managerial and professional job category, their level of education is only the college degree, born in the month of January, and who are female, their average age is 46. That is the interpretation of this amount. And more complex you will be preparing this matrix, no? More and more complex the interpretation would be. So what I have told to all of you today is how to apply the pivot table first. Number two, what is the significance of rows and columns? As far as the values are concerned, rows and columns really does not make any difference. Please put it in the back of your mind. It just changes the outlook of presentation, nothing else. Then filter is something which gives you the data only of the selected category. Say in the filter, if you introduce one more filter into this, say I'm using the age category filter too, and I'm taking that age category filter over here in this filter. So there are two filters inserted now, right? Now I can go to the age category filter. You may check it. In age category filter, click on this. Select multiple items. Click on all and select only 18 to 24. That is the age category. Pressing OK. So now if I give you again an interpretation of this, it would be based on one more criteria. Say if I want to interpret this 22. This 22 is nothing but all those people who are belonging to managerial and professional job category, born in the month of February, belonging to the female gender. They have completed only the college degree and their age category is from 18 to 24. Their average age is 22. Aha, I know there is a logical flow which you need to establish, but that's how the interpretation should be. Okay, so you know that what is there in the filter, what is there in the columns. In rows and columns, you may insert more than one value, and in values too, you may have more than one values. I'll come to that in the next lecture, but you have understood these four boxes now, right? No difficulty in understanding the interpretation of these four boxes. You have understood that what is this? Pivot table fields, right? Now let me remove this filter. How can I remove this? You may have a click on this, select all, that is a one way, press OK. Again, go to the first one, click on this filter, select all, press OK. So both this filter of level of education as well as the age category are removed now. Now, some people would be like, sir, why do not want to put it over here in the filter tab only? Then you may just put it, drag it over there outside. That's fine. Tata bye bye, see you kar do usko. Now, another thing which is a beautiful thing about this pivot table, please concentrate. Very last thing, and then I'm going to complete this lecture. Very, very important thing is that if I want to see that how many entries are falling in that category. Say if there is this 32, no, this average ages of those people who are female and born in the month of January, and their job category is agricultural natural resources. How many entries are falling into this? Who are the people who are coming into this category? What is the detail of those people who are falling into this category? You will have to just click. The double click over there, have a double click on that cell for which you want this. Have a double click. And one more worksheet is inserted. You must be able to see. There are 13 entries falling in that category. And each and every detail of those 13 entries are mentioned, are prescribed over there in the different worksheet. Altogether, a different worksheet is prepared. Please check it. Again, if you want to go to any of these categories and you want to see that who are the people who are falling into this category, we want the detail of those people who are falling into this category, just have a double click on that. Simple. I want this, have a double click. One worksheet is inserted. There are 28 entries falling for this. Now, can you imagine how important this function is going to be for the data analysis of yours, for which you have taken the responses from the primary market, from the primary data? Once you have a Google form and you paste it over here in the Excel, the pivot table becomes absolutely easy, and you will be able to prepare the charts and columns and such kind of a tables like anything. We haven't come to the charts yet. We will come to that in some time to come. But I hope you have got till now. I'm deleting this, not required, deleting this worksheet. Have a right click. No, worksheet 4 is required, worksheet 5 is not required, right click, deleting that. Anyone having any queries, any problem till now, let me know. Have you got this entire pivot table fields now? We have taken just two bases of summarization. One is sum and another one is average. We will also go to some other sort of a summarization in some time to come. But you must be able to see, you must be able to interpret this, you must be able to apply these now. Once it is done, then we'll move to the advanced aspects of pivot table in the next lecture. Is it clear, everyone? Give me a confirmation, positive or negative, so that I'll be able to know that at least students are getting that. Good. So confirmation has been received from very few students till now. Oh my God, Shweta, I'm really sorry. I couldn't hear your voice properly. I think there would be some connectivity issues or problems from my side or from your side. From the next lecture onwards, if such kind of a thing happens, no, you may tell it to some other colleagues of yours, so that they would be stopping me meanwhile, you know. Okay. Others, please do not leave the class. I'm sharing the attendance file with all of you, and then after filing that, you may leave for the day. I guess for the day only, right? Not for the lecture, because after that you do not have any lectures. Okay, everyone can go to the chat box. pressing the enter, and from there you may file your attendance. And once it is done, then you may leave the class. It's a fancy stuff. Yes, absolutely fancy stuff. You can prepare the dynamic dashboards as well from the pivot table, but the problem is that, you people are not in front of me, so I cannot understand that whether you are getting it or not. That's the big issue I have. And if I'll come to the dashboard building through the use of pivot table and bit of a programming, then Excel would be like anything. It will be a awesome dashboard. You click on one thing and you'll be able to reach to that. Okay, if your attendance is done, then you may leave the class. Bye bye, take care, sayonara, enjoy your day. That's it from my side. हम हेरा ही प्यार के, फिर मिलेंगे चलते चलते.